Let's take a look at how we divide signed fractions. So signed being that they have the two negative signs in front. So first we'll start with a negative divided by a negative is equal to a positive number. So without doing any work, this negative divided by a negative tells me that my result or my solution at the end will be positive. So now that that's taken care of, let's look at how we divide two fractions. To divide two fractions, we write the first one as it is, and then flip and multiply by the reciprocal of the second. So this is only with division do we actually flip that second fraction and multiply. When we multiply two fractions, we multiply across. So 24 times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Bring the 1 to the top. 3 times 2 is 6. So this is 72 over 12 times 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. Bring up the 1. 8 times 1 is 1. Add 1. This is 96. 72 over 96. Both of these numbers are divisible by 2. So next I'm going to divide by 2. 2 times 3 gives me 6, so I'm left with 1 and 2. That's 12. 2 will go into 12 6 times. So this top number, if I divide it by 2, is equal to 12. And 96, if I divide it by 2, 2 will go into 9 4 times. With a 1 left over, bring down the 6. And 2 will go into 16 8 times. So this is 12 over 48. Both of these numbers are divisible by 2 because they're both even. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 48 divided by 2 is, bring down my 8, 24. 6 and 24 can both be divided by 2 if you would like to do that. They can also both be divided by 6. So this is 1 over 4. Another way that we could have done simplification of this fraction without doing all of this stuff over here is done 24 times 12 times 3 times 8. So again, I got rid of the negative sign because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then to divide two fractions, I take the second and flip it and multiply. When we multiply, we just go straight across. But one of the things that we could have done prior to multiplying was reduce our fractions. So looking at the values of my numerator and of my denominator, I know 24 is divisible by 8. So I'm going to divide both my denominator by 8 and my numerator by 8. So 8 will go into 24 3 times. I also know that 12 and my numerators of 3 also have a factor of 3 that they can be broken down by. So divide the numerator by 3, that gives me a 1, and this denominator by 3, that gives me a 4. So all I'm left with is 3 over 4. Or I could have written it as 24 over 12 times 3 over 8 and just written it as a multiplication without actually multiplying anything. So 24, if we break this down, is 2 and 12 will break down to 2 and 6 will break down to 2 and 3. So this 24 could be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, so that's the 24, times my next numerator of 3, over, and break down the 12. 12 is 2 and 6, 6 is 2 and 3, so 2 times 3, I'm breaking it down to its prime numbers, and 8 is 2 times 4 and 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 3, that was the 12. 2 times 2 times 2, that was the 8. Now cross out any factors that the numerator and denominator have in common. So they both have at least one 2. There's another 2 that they have in common. There's a third 2. They also have a 3 in common. So, what's left over that we haven't marked out? A 3 and a 4. So, 3 different ways to work this division of fractions question.